Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at this breakthrough energy. This is the Eon, Judgment. This is rebirth, reawakening. This is a baptism by fire, right? This is a portal to a new dimension, to a new timeline. This is the doorway to your future. Yeah, it's very exciting. It requires a definite step. It requires us to let go of something. It really requires us to close the door on something else. Okay, so we're going to put this into some context. Let's see what it is that we have to walk away from in order to accept this future that's ahead of us. All right, so let's see what other cards we have here. Look at that, Nine of Pentacles. You are moving into this future of prosperity and gain and resources. This is you living your best life here, this nine. Right? Nine of Pentacles, very good energy. Fool energy, look at that. And the Tower, yes, yes, yes. This is kind of something that seems to just kind of be creeping up on you all of a sudden even. But it is your destiny. Look at these major arcana cards, especially right up the middle here. The Fool, free of all of this baggage. No fear, no real concerns, just ready, right? Empty, free, ready to go, stepping through this doorway, shutting the door on that, accepting our destiny, accepting our fate. This kind of makes me want to cry. This is beautiful. And then the practical side of things, this is really something that's going to be good for you. Okay? Speaking of good for you, Empress energy. Look at all of this major arcana. And if we just had the major arcana, I would say, well, this is really a big spiritual event in your life, but there is a physical earthly component. So we are grounding all of this energy here in our practical daily lives of our actions, of our relationships. Yeah, this is good. Now, over here we have a Nine of Swords, Four of Swords, Five of Cups, and Three of Pentacles. Again, we're kind of grounding this energy. So it looks like over here on the path of the Serpent, this is all the work that we really have to do. Okay? And this is, excuse my voice here. This is really, I think, a painful situation here that we have to deal with. And I don't know what this really has to do with. There's no court cards here at all. We have this kind of feeling of pain being inflicted on us. Okay, I feel like this is a painful situation. It may be painful to stay here. It may be painful even to break away from this Tower energy. But this is the breakthrough that we need. There's something that is restricting you. There's something that is, well, it feels like it's something that's like injuring you emotionally, right? Spiritually, energetically. So we have to get away from whatever this is. Now, this is a tower that has been built up around you. It feels like it's been limiting you. Could be something job, career related, could be family, friends, relationships. It could be strictly spiritual. It could be something that's been kind of restraining or restricting your creativity, right? Your energy, your enthusiasm with life, your ambition, your potential, right? This is the kind of limiting energy that does not allow you to fulfill your potential. If we think of this as your potential going right up here, this is a situation that does not help you fulfill your potential, whereas the Empress is an energy that does help you fulfill your potential being this star. Okay, so we're moving away from this restriction. We're kind of blowing the roof off it, blowing the doors off of this one. Going through that door that we might be creating, like in the side of the wall, like in the cartoons, and going toward our land of milk and honey. And this is an environment that is good for you. This is an environment that is healing, that is healthy for you. This is an environment of support. Okay, this is Spirit's telling me that you do a lot of stuff with plant medicine. Okay, and I feel that with this because this is a very earthy, natural, abundant card. And this is kind of a card that says if you take care of your environment should take care of you. It's a two-way street, right? It's reciprocating. We're working in tandem with our environment. Okay, and our environment around us is a reflection of our psychic state. Now, what is the psychic state that you really want? You want this one or this one? I know which one I would choose. Yeah. I know which one I would choose. Right now, let's choose the mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this card is just going to go over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction in the comments. Okay, we should do it together. We should make it a group exercise. Okay. Now let's take a look. We've got a lot of major arcana. We don't have any fire. The fire we have really is here. And it's us using every ounce of energy we have to break through this doorway. If we're in a tower, if we're sealed up in a wall and there's no doorway, this is you making your own doorway. All right? And it feels like it's kind of feels like you got to get mad here a little bit, because what else we see over here is air, water, earth. A lot of these kind of passive elements, yielding, flexible, adaptable elements. What we want is fire, right? We want ambition. We want strength. We want determination. Okay, and I feel like this the Nine of Swords here, this is supposed to be some active energy, right? But I feel like this is something that is pointed at you. This is something that every time you try to move forward, there's pain. It hurts, there's some sort of a blockage. I feel like this is an environment that really is not good for you. Not good for you at all. Yeah. And I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is just a kind of an internal psychic state, or if this is, a work situation, family situation, a relationship that you're in. But I do see you switching from this not good, restrictive, maybe chaotic, maybe toxic environment to this very loving, supportive, and nurturing environment. And that's going to allow you to follow your destiny, fulfill your potential, and really create your life and live your best life. But first, we have to get free of this. So this involves letting this stuff go. The Four of Swords is kind of saying that we're not looking to fight it out or hash it out or debate or convince anybody of anything. No, we're making a doorway and we're walking through it. That might be walking away from something, okay? It might involve that. I feel like your mother is passed, right? I feel, no, I don't know. I feel that there's a distance between you and the mother figure in your life. Spirit's telling me that your mom is still with you, but there's no closeness there. You were closer to a grandparent or an aunt or something, someone older than your mom. That's who you were really closest to. And I don't know if maybe you were raised by a grandparent, but I'm feeling like there wasn't really a connection with mom there. And I feel like that's kind of important when we start to think about the situation we're in, how we got here, and what we've got to do to get out of this situation, and what kind of life we really want. What kind of friends or family or relationship, what is it that you really deserve? You know, because I think you've been enduring something here that's not good for you. And it almost feels like, it feels like we haven't had anything different. So we don't know how it should be. Does that make sense to you? And that really is, that's something that's changing. That's something that we are moving away from now. I feel like you're burning incense or something now, right? Sage, you're smudging, I think, with sage or with incense. Could be something else. But there's incense around you. There's kind of smoke in the air, right? And I think that's a way of kind of clearing your energy and of protecting yourself and of trying to put yourself in a good state of mind. I also feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So if we have a need for this kind of purification, cleansing, banishing, right? If we feel the need to do that, it must mean that there is something here that we need to banish, right? If there's nothing going on, there's no need to do it. Yeah. So I feel like that's something that you know there's an underlying acceptance of the situation already. Okay. And I want to talk about the star because the star is your highest self. It is your destiny. It is you being spiritually open to receive what Spirit has in store for you. And this is what we want. You know, this is what we are after. This is how we really fulfill our potential. And this is how that spiritual experience gets transmitted to our daily earthly lives. You see, the star is receiving the water from above and pouring it out there down below. That is receiving the spiritual gift, the blessings, the miracles, and then extending that out to the world. Okay? Receiving this and then giving it away. And I feel like that is really how you are coming to gain so much in life. That really is the best life for you. It's almost like if you want to have all of this abundance, you have to give it away. You know, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? You have to receive your blessings and your miracles, and you have to then give it out to the world, extend it out. Yeah. Which requires some freedom of your energy. Not your energy being all locked up like in this tower. Yeah. Spirit's telling me that you've already started packing. Is that right? So I think that there is really a physical move that is happening for you. Or you're preparing for this physical move. Okay? I see something falling off of a high shelf. It didn't break, but I don't know if it fell. Okay? You know what I mean? Something kind of hit something. It didn't break, but it didn't fall. It feels like it was thrown. Yeah. This tower situation needs to be dealt with soon. And the first thing I want to say is if you're in any kind of danger or anything, call the authorities, get yourself to a safe place, activate your support system. There are resources out there for you, okay? But I feel like this is something we're dealing with internally. I don't think there's anyone literally around you that is acting this way toward you. I kind of feel like it's our own frustration. It's that rage that we sometimes feel inside where we just want to break something, you know? And maybe you did. Maybe that's what you kind of threw something against the wall, but it didn't break, you know, but you tried. I feel that's kind of something here. There's this frustration, and it's because you have all of this potential, all of this energy, all of this spirit inside of you. But whatever's going on, you've been building this tower around you, and maybe this tower is another brick in the wall, right? It's an isolation. It's a protecting yourself from the outside dangerous energies of the world. But we do that too much, and we start to realize that we've just boxed ourselves in. We put ourselves behind this wall, and now we can't move. We can't enjoy anything. Yeah, we're keeping the bad stuff out. We're keeping the good stuff out too, you know? So anyway, the Fool. This is down beneath everything. You have this you have this travel bug. You have this energy about you where you really just, when you were younger, did you have fantasies of just like dropping everything and literally just driving to like a town in the middle of nowhere and just starting your life over again? I feel like that's a very specific kind of energy, where I think you've had fantasies, and like just daydreams, right? And like mental imagination exercises where you would just say, well, what if I just like packed up a few of my essential things, my favorite few books, my journal, my pet, and I just drove and kept driving, and wherever I ended up, I just get a job in a little gas station or a little diner. I would get a little apartment somewhere. Nobody would know me, right? It's kind of that thing that we see in movies and stuff, and I think that's a common fantasy for a lot of people. I think it's for a lot of cancers, really, that I've encountered that have that kind of energy. It's kind of a hermit crab energy. It's the ability to just want to pick up my house and I want to go somewhere where nobody knows me and just be anonymous and just kind of start over. And I think we romanticize that kind of a life, especially if you are a creative, if you're an artist, a poet, a writer, a musician. It's just kind of like, it feels romantic, right? And I think it does something to think about that. I feel like this is kind of something similar that is actually happening in your life. Now, I don't think it's going to be quite as abrupt as what we might see in the movies or what we might fantasize about, but I do feel like it is a huge shift for you. Okay, I see you really basically picking up your life and moving it somewhere that is so much nicer. Right? So much more healthy, healing, loving, supportive, abundant, nourishing. This is like the rat race of the city. This is the country. Right? This is a lot of chaos and noise and pollution. This is clean living. Okay? This is anxiety. This is pain. This is trouble. This is stress. And this is feeling good in the neighborhood. All right? And the thing with the Fool is that the Fool doesn't really care, doesn't need to know which way it's going. The Fool just is that energy that wants to go. Right? But you've got to give the Fool some direction because we want to be led by Spirit. Okay? You need to be led by Spirit here. All right? Now, who has the thing with the mouth? Somebody's got something going on with their mouth. Not the teeth or anything, but the lips, the smile or something like this. I don't know if there's jewelry, piercings or something, or if it's something specific going on with the mouth right now. Yeah. I don't think it's Spirit saying that you have a mouth on you, which is a little bit more of a metaphor. I think there's physically something with the lips or something, or that part of the face. Yeah. What is this spiritual energy that's coming in? What do you recognize as being your destiny? Well, this is something that we really have to... It's almost like we're not going to know until we get there. This is still that kind of a life that feels way out there. It feels like I don't really know what it is. It's so far out. I can squint and kind of see it, but not really. And maybe this is the idea, right, that if we live in the city, there's all this light pollution. The Fool can't see the night sky. You can't pick out the stars. You can't find any of the constellations, let alone one particular star that is you. You can't see that from where you are, right? It's the same kind of, with the light pollution. So we have to make a little bit of progress. We have to be kind of willing and trusting that says, Spirit's prompting me to go through this doorway. I don't know where it's taking me, but I'm open to the journey. I'm going to go on this adventure, and once I get a little further out, then I'll be able to see what the meaning is of it and where I'm really going, This is the promise of something that is going to be an improvement in your life, a transcendence. This is going to be the alleviation of suffering. This is going to be taking something bad and bringing it to good. Okay, this is a gain, not a loss. It might feel like a loss. This is like a Band-Aid that gets ripped off. It's going to sting for a minute. It might feel like that, like you're making the wrong decision or that you did something regrettable. No, it's leading you to your highest potential, your highest and greatest good. Okay? Let's go to the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And it helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. This feels really, really emotional to me. I feel that there's this kind of yearning in your heart, you know? I feel like every day that you are separated from that star, from that destiny, separated from this Empress energy, I feel like it's painful, right? And I wonder if this has something to do with the mom energy too. Because Spirit was telling me that there's this distance from mom here. Maybe this is kind of a metaphor too. Maybe there is this distance from home. Maybe where you are now does not feel like home. Maybe you feel like you don't fit into where you are. Yeah. And so maybe the Empress energy here is really saying you're going from what is not home, going from a life where you kind of feel like the outcast or something, and you are going to a place where you feel like you belong. This is home. This is mom, right, in a way. Maybe literally, too. It could be. It could be. For some of you, maybe that's really the case, that there is a big distance from you and your family, mom, or whatever it is. And this might be that journey to that kind of reunion, okay? And it could be a literal physical journey, but it could also just be the path that we take to get to reconciliation with this mom energy, okay? Spirit's showing me a lot of dream catchers on the wall. Do you make dream catchers? Or I think you at least you have one above your bed. And it's the idea here, this is not an idea of wanting to keep out the bad dreams. You're trying to catch that star. You're trying to catch that dream that's meant for you. Yeah. So it's not, I don't know what dream catchers are supposed to be for. I feel like they're supposed to kind of catch the bad dreams so that you don't dream them. I feel like you're trying to use it to catch that divine energy, to catch that spiritual dream. Yeah. The Four of Swords in the position of the environment, this almost makes me wonder if there was a falling out between you and this maternal energy. And the Four of Swords would kind of be the effort that we're now making to reconcile this. Okay? That we want to put the past behind us. And maybe the Tower was that kind of moment where you had that big blow up, that big argument with the family member or mom or whoever it is. And now this is the journey of us kind of trying to return to this kind of bond and to repair this relation, to heal this relationship. Okay. And in that sense, there is a bit of a difficulty in letting go of this Tower energy because, this is something that you probably feel like you were right in this. So if you now try to put this behind you, it feels like you're giving up your high ground here or something of that nature, right? Yeah. Who in your life has the heart issue? Somebody's got something to do with the heart. I don't know if they've had heart attacks or if they have like a heart disease or something, or if it's something with cholesterol. But Spirit's showing me the heart, and that there's an emphasis there. Okay, I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical reading. I'm not predicting anything. It's something that you already know. Okay. And sometimes these details come in as confirmations, as validations, as just a way of giving some synchronicity for some of you. Okay, if those details aren't meant for you, well, don't worry about it. Leave them for the next person. Okay. The Five of Cups. Yeah, this is the difficulty. I feel like there is something missing in your life, and I feel like there is a difficulty with us letting go of something that affected us personally. Somebody said something, did something. There was something going on that really hurt us, and we We don't want to let it go. Now, I feel like it's kind of a catch-22 because we have to let it go, you know. But at the same time, we don't want to forget about it because we need to realize that this is part of the reason why we need to get away from this situation and why there's even a reading here today. There's a lot of this kind of internal spiritual work that needs to be done. So we want to forgive, perhaps, but we don't want to forget. Okay. And this is the difficult thing. And I feel that there is sometimes a very intense sadness in you. And I feel like it's to the point where we don't know where it comes from. I mean, that could be from a lot of this stuff going on, but I feel like we never really getting to the bottom of it. It seems obvious on the surface, right? Well, our energy's restricted. We're not living up to our potential. There's something going on with the family that's we're not in harmony with them, you know. So it seems like there's all these little things that could contribute to that, but I think it's more fundamental. I think it goes back to this Fool and this star, really, right? I think that there is this very deep, essential part of you that wants to explore your spirituality, that wants to have a relationship with God, goddess, deity. Right? We want this vertical path. The horizontal path is very straightforward. We want to get out of a bad situation, get to a good situation. And we want this to be an improvement, right? Obviously. But what we really, really, really want is for our Fool to go through this spiritual doorway and transcend and really merge with the universe, with God, goddess, deity, with guardian angel. We want that spiritual religious experience, that indescribable experience. We want to transcend a life that is always trying to get away from bad and get closer to good. That's life. That's what life is. Getting away from what we don't want and getting more of what we do want. Yes, but now you're trying to ascend. You're trying to awaken. You're trying to merge with spirit here, and that's an intense, intense thing. And the separation from you and spirit is enough to cause this kind of general, like, sadness, this melancholy, this feeling that something's just not right. Okay. Now I feel a deer energy very, very close to you. I feel like a deer, a sacred deer. It's an important symbol for you. Yeah. And also being shown an image of a swan, a white swan. What is that about with you? Something very important with the swan. It feels very sacred. It feels like I shouldn't be... Spirit kind of showed it to me, said not to say it. Sorry, I said it. Something unspeakable there, something that's so sacred to you that we don't mention it, right? That's like an inner symbol that means something to you that nobody talks about. Yeah. We're finally with the Three of Pentacles at the end. Now, with all of this, we understand the process of change and of creation on the physical plane. We understand that even in this spiritual ascension and awakening and union, there's still this physical component. We still have to exist in this earthly form, and we have to improve our earthly life. So really, we're at the intersection now of this horizontal path and the vertical path. And what you're coming to understand is that the spiritual path is the earthly path, and the earthly path is the spiritual path. It's all about how you are feeling about it, right? We have the earthly life without the spiritual component, and it feels like an empty vessel. It feels like a cup from which we cannot drink. We have the cup, we have the vessel. Why don't we have the water in the vessel? Why don't we have the refreshment, the healing, the nourishing, that joy and bliss, that union, right? So we're right here, it's a crossroads for you, for sure. Feels very, very emotional. I'd like to look at the mystery card and see if that might tie some of these energies together maybe in a larger context. I would love to have the world or universe card here, right? Showing the integration of all of these energies. That it may be a lot of different things going on, but it's all one thing. It's all one thing. If you have a prediction for this card, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look. 5. Fighting. There's this uneasiness. There's this, I think it's that rage. It's that wanting to break something. Yeah. And what we can do with this energy is we can use this not as breaking something, but breaking through. Right? Breaking through whatever's holding you back from having the kind of experience with the universe that you really crave, that your soul really longs for. Yeah. Very intense. Very, very intense. And I think with that star card up there and with the Fool, with all these major arcana cards, I think it's important that you focus on your spirituality. Right? Focus on reconnecting with your deity, your angel, your higher self, true self, God, goddess, through whatever way you know how. And the 5 of Wands maybe is a lot of experimentation. Maybe we have to get through some of this melancholy that just is sad that we don't have it. Well, let's go out and get it. Try these things again. Try your prayer, your meditation, ritual, worship, ceremony. Yeah. Through art, through music, through dancing, through love, through all of these things. But focus on it. I see that spirit is at the top of your mind all the time. It's at the top of the path of the dove, right? Spirit's up here. And you're always kind of squinting at it to try to see that star, to try to see that spiritual energy in your life. And you will. You will. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there is a link at the end of the video. There's one up top, one down below. All right. New readings for Cancer every Tuesday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I'm here every day. You can come back and we can talk again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Costs nothing. And leave a comment for me. Let me know that you're okay. And let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.